हरि ओम। ओ ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. We shall chant the mantras of the fifth Anuvaka and also the sixth Anuvaka. Vijnanam yajñam tanute karmani tanute picha vijnanam devas sarve brahma jeshtam upasate vijnanam brahma chet veda tasmat chenna pramadyate sharire papmano hitva sarvan kaman samashnutaiti तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्माद् विज्ञानमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मानन्दमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य प्रियमेव शिरः मोदो दक्षिणः पक्षः प्रमोद उत्तरप्रक्षः आनन्द आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति असन्नेव स भवति असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत् अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद् वेद सन्तमेनं ततो विदुरिति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य अथातोऽनुप्रश्नाः उता विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति आहो विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुताः सोकामयत बहुस्यां प्रजायेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा इदगं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तच्छृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चाभवत् निरुक्तं च निरुक्तं च निलयनं च निलयनं च विज्ञानं च विज्ञानं च सत्यं च अनृतं च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. So we are seeing this Brahmananda Valli, which begins with the mantra Brahma with Apnoti Param. The knower of Brahma attains the Supreme. And what are the lakshanas of Brahma? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. And one can realize Brahma in the cave of one's own antakarana. And one who attains that Brahma becomes free of all bondage, attains supreme bliss, supreme happiness. So one should strive to know Brahma. One should strive to realize Brahma. So in order to make us realize this Brahma, the Upanishad begins by describing the creation of this world. The entire world has come from that Brahma. From that Brahma, which is Atma, the Akash came into existence. So tasmad va etasmad akashas sambhutah, akashad vayuhu, from akash vayu, agni, jal, prithvi. And in this way, finally, a human being is also born. So a human being, our body, our mind, our senses are all the product of that Supreme Brahma. Not only human being, but the entire world and all the beings are expressions of that one Brahma alone. So in order to help us recognize that Brahma, the teacher or the Shastra here takes up the path of Panchakosha Vivek. So, taking the help of these 5 koshas, step by step, when we enter the subtler levels of our own inner personality. Finally, we come to recognize Brahma. So the outermost kosha is Annamay Kosh. Our physical body is Annamay Kosh because it is made of Anna. Anna means food. So it is born from food. It is sustained by food. It merges back into food. And its limbs are this physical body, the head, the two arms, the middle portion of the body, and the feet. So, taking this same structure of a human being, the inner koshas are also described. So, the Atma of this physical body is the Pranamay Kosh, and the Atma of the Pranamay Kosh is Manomay Kosh. Atma of Manomay Kosh is Vijnanamay Kosh, and Atma of Vijnanamay Kosh is Anandamay Kosh. And the support of this Anandamay Kosh is Brahma. So, starting from Brahma, the whole creation is described, and through these koshas, finally, again, we come back to Brahma. So, these five koshas, one identifies with these five koshas and considers wrongly these koshas as our own self. So, at the physical level, all actions happen, but these actions are powered by the pranas, the pancha pranas, and these pranas are further propelled by our thinking, our mind, and the mind is controlled by our understanding, our vision, our conviction, and all this function or propelled into various activities motivated by the Anandamay Kosh. In order to attain that Ananda, we perform actions. The support of this Annamay Kosh are our own feet. So my body is supported by my feet. Then Pranamay Kosh, which has got Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Saman. That Pranamay Kosh is supported by Prithvi. Then Manomay Kosh has got its limbs as the Vedas, and it is supported by the Rishis. Atharvangirasam, Ucham Pratishtha. And the Atma of this Manomay Kosh is Vijnanamay Kosh, which has got Shraddha, Ritam, Satyam as its limbs, then Yoga, and that Mahat Tattva as the support. And within that is the Anandamay Kosh, which is made up of Priya, Moda, Pramoda, Ananda, and Brahma is its support. Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. So when we perform any actions, the desire comes in our mind. Let us say I have a desire to have a cup of ice cream. So from where did this desire come? It came from the samskars which I have in my antakarana. And in those samskar, there is this impression is there that if I have this ice cream, I will feel happy, it will give me pleasure, it will give me joy, because in the past I had and I had derived some joy. So this type of samskars are there within, and motivated or triggered by something outside, maybe the weather or the time or the situation, or something from within triggers this thought, this desire that I want to enjoy, I want to gain that joy of eating ice cream. So that Anandamaya Kosh, we want to bring that Anandamaya Kosh, want to invoke the Priyam or the Pramod in this Anandamaya Kosh. So that brings that desire in our buddhi that let me have a cup of ice cream. Then that buddhi again further motivates the mind to think about it, to go through various options. What are the options? I can go to a place where nice ice creams are available, where I can have. So the mind thinks about various pros and cons, sankalpa, vikalpa, and finally gives some suggestion, and the intellect then again decides and and tells the mind, okay, activate the process of going to that place. So the mind further propels the pranas, and the pranas activates the body, and one goes to that place where the ice cream is available, and we eat the ice cream. Our body, with the help of our body, our hand, we eat the ice cream. When we eat the ice cream, the mind becomes quiet because no job is given to the mind, so it is relatively quiet for some time. The intellect also is peaceful, and one experiences priya, moda, pramoda, depending on our intensity of our desire, etc. So then I become happy, but that doesn't last for long. Again, some other desire crops up. So this goes on and on. And all these things happens within these five koshas. But what about me? Who am I? I am that Brahma, which is nameless, formless, which is indicated as Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That Brahma is beyond all vyavahar, beyond all transactions. It doesn't have any color, doesn't have any form, doesn't have any activities. It is indicated in the Shastras as Satyam Jnanam Anantam and as the creator of this world. So that Brahma and I, the innermost, see, when I become happy, so I become happy. So happy thoughts are there, happy things are there in our antakarana. And then I say, oh, I am happy. But who is this I? What is the nature of this I? When I identify with my body, mind, with these five koshas, I say I am a human being, I am a man, I am a woman, I am of this age, I am from this nationality, etc., etc. So I create my own identity based on these five koshas. But these five koshas are active in the waking and in the dream. But what about deep sleep? In deep sleep, these five koshas are not active. All these koshas, they merge into that supreme Brahma. In deep sleep, I remain as Brahma, free from all other expressions. So I remain as myself, as that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma in deep sleep. If I try to contemplate and try to understand the deep sleeper, that self, I don't get any idea about it. I don't get any idea about myself because there are no activities happening in deep sleep. There are no experiences happening in deep sleep. There is no knowledge happening in deep sleep. But interesting, when I wake up, I say about that experience of deep sleep, I say I was sleeping, I had a good sleep. So I had a happy, blissful sleep, and I did not know anything. That is the universal experience or universal expression of the deep sleep. That I was happily sleeping, I slept happily, and I did not know anything at that time. But now, in waking, I know, I do, I experience. So that same I who is experiencing the world now was present in deep sleep also. But there was no activity happening there. So my existence, I know, I was existing there. So that entity is indicated as the innermost self, Pratyak Atma. Pratyak means inner self. It is also indicated as Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna means the different from Kshetra, different from this world, knower of this world. It's also called Purusha. It's also called Jiva. It's also called Pradnya. So about that Atma, we have one positive understanding and one negative understanding. When we think about the deep sleep, everyone says, I slept happily. So that is like a positive indicator of that Atma, that there was happiness. And another is negative, that I did not know anything. So it's a very mysterious self. We do not know about it. So the Shastras say that that self which you don't know about that self, the Shastras say it is Brahma, it is Satyam Jnanam Anantam and Anandam. It is the very source of this entire creation. But by itself, free. It is devoid of any activity, any vyavahar. No transactions happen. So it is so mysterious, this Brahma, which is our own self, that when we contemplate on it, it becomes difficult for many people to even appreciate the existence of this Brahma. Because that which doesn't, with which we cannot interact, with which we cannot do any vyavahar, how can one say that it exists? So there are some who think that there is no such thing called Brahma. And there are others who say that yes, there is Brahma. So there are these people who have faith, Shraddha, that the Brahma which is spoken about in the Shastras, which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, exists. But there are others who say that it is not true. Such a Brahma is not there. So this point is being taken up here in this Anuvaka. It's very important and very beautiful Anuvaka, wherein after going through all these five koshas, we have to recognize that Brahma, in all these five koshas, we see Vyavahar. We can understand them. And within them, only everything, all our experiences are also there. But beyond these five koshas, as a support of these five koshas, as the very source of these five koshas, is this Brahma. So, in order to attain that Brahma, because any other means, we have this means to know, like pratyaksha, direct perception, through our senses, through direct perception, we gain the knowledge of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. We gain the knowledge of sound, Shabda, Sparsha, touch, Rupa of form or color, Rasa of taste, and Gandha of smell. And also, what cannot be directly seen, we can infer their presence through inference. Like we see smoke, we infer that there must be fire. So that is called Anuman Praman. Then we have what we call Upamanam, through comparison. Like I have not, if one person has not seen a zebra, so he is told that zebra is, he looks like like a like a donkey and has got stripes like that of a tiger. So with this information, when he goes to the forest and he sees a zebra, he, through his comparison, he comes to know that this must be zebra only, because it looks like a donkey and has got stripes. So that is called upamanam. Through comparison, we come to gain knowledge. And there is what we call arthapatti. Through assumptions, we observe something and then come to some understanding, but then that understanding is proved to be wrong, so we again come up with another hypothesis till it gets confirmed. Like they give example that there is one Devadatta person, and they say that he doesn't eat during daytime. So I assume that he is not easy eating, but when I see Devadatta, he looks quite healthy, well built. But that information was there that he doesn't eat during the daytime, so he must be eating at night. So that is called arthapatti. We come to a certain hypothesis, but if it is proved wrong, we go to the other hypothesis. In science also they use all this technique of pratyaksha, anuman, upaman, arthapatti to gain knowledge. But this Brahma or Atma is such that we cannot use any of these means because it cannot be seen. There is no perception of that Atma. It cannot be seen because it doesn't have any color, any form. There are no Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha in that Atma. So it cannot be perceived directly, cannot be inferred, because even for inference, finally to confirm that inference, we need perception, direct perception. So all this means which we use to study the world are unable to give me knowledge of myself, knowledge of that Brahma. Therefore, the only means are the Upanishads. Vedanta means Upanishads and all those texts based on the Upanishad, that is Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra. So Upanishads, Brahma Sutra and Bhagavad Gita are called Prasthantrayi, the means to know Brahma. But if we don't know about this means and if we use our own thinking and all, and if we have just heard about this Brahma as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, nameless, formless, free from Vyavahar, some people may not have faith in it, may think such a Brahma doesn't exist. And some may have faith that yes, such a Brahma exists. That is how this Anuvaka begins here. कि असन्नेव स भवति असत ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत. The teacher says, the Shastra, the Upanishad says here, कि असन एव असत सम एव यथा सन न पुरुषार्थ संबंधेवम स भवति अपरुषार्थ संबंधी. That one who considers this Brahma as asat, that there is no such thing called Brahma. One doesn't have that faith. Whether we call it as Brahma or we indicate it by other name like Bhagwan or Paramatma or the Shuddha Atma. There are those who doesn't have faith because they only have faith in their sense perception. They have faith in the objective reality itself. So whatever I see, hear, taste, touch, that alone they consider as existing. And that which can be inferred or that which can be through experimentation can be understood to be existing. See, like space, time, we can understand with our buddhi. We can't see it through our senses. But we know the existence of space, time through our buddhi. Similarly, there are things in science which cannot be perceived directly, but through experimentation, they know that such a thing exists. But no experimentation, no machine, or no instruments can make us see or perceive Atma. Atma cannot be seen. So there are those who say that Asam, it is not there. This Brahma is not there. Whatever this world and this body, that itself is there. Other than that, nothing is there. So they are totally Gnostic. They don't have faith in the existence of Brahma, in the existence of Bhagwan, in the existence of Paramatma, in the existence of this Atma. And there are philosophies also who are like that. Like in Buddhism, they don't accept the existence of Ishvara. They don't even accept the existence of Atma. According to that philosophy, nothing is there. Everything is, means it is shunya. Kuch nahi hai. If something is seen now, it is all mithya, just an illusion, but ultimately nothing is there. So such people who don't have the faith in the existence of Brahma, here the teacher says, Asamneva sabhavati. Such a person also becomes asat. Asat eva sabhavati. Asat brahmeti veda chet. One who thinks Brahma is asat. Asat means non-existent. Such a person also becomes asat. Becomes asat means what? Shankaracharya writes, he becomes asat, asan eva, asat samaha eva. He becomes like non-existent only. Because all our purushartha, all our human pursuit to attain whatever we want to attain, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the very basis of all this purushartha is Brahma. So one who doesn't believe in the existence of Brahma becomes incapable of attaining any purushartha. Because the basis itself is negated by such a person. So he becomes incapable of attaining or perceiving any Purushartha. In our Shastra, the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, all these four Purusharthas which are there, they are all linked to Brahma. Even Artha, Kama, Purushartha is linked to Brahma. Therefore, even if the Shastras, when they tell us to pursue the path of Artha to acquire wealth, etc., one has to follow certain rules, regulation, laws, dharma. Because whatever we do, whether we put forth effort to acquire wealth or we put forth effort to acquire pleasure in this world or follow the path of dharma, everything is linked to Brahma. See why certain things are considered good and certain things are considered evil, because they are linked to Brahma. That which takes us towards that Brahma, that which makes us finally to realize Brahma. All those activities, all those values are considered good, like ahimsa, satyam, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. These yamas are mentioned in Yoga Sutras, and similar values are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and other Dharma Shastras. Why they are why they are considered to be good values? Like ahimsa, non-violence. Non-violence will take us towards Brahma. If any book or any person advocates violence, which will make a person attain some swargalok or something, it is absolutely wrong. But non-violence has to be understood properly. Using force to protect dharma is also within the scope of non-violence. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan told Arjuna to fight that war. He didn't say that, oh, run away from this battlefield. It is all violence. He said, no. You have to use force to protect dharma. So non-violence and satyam, aparigraha, asteyam, etc., all those values which are mentioned, they are good because they all lead us towards Brahma. They are all actually closer to Brahma. See, just like we have the sun, which is bright and brilliant, and on earth we experience day and night. Day is experienced when one can see the sun directly. Night is experienced when we don't see the sun. But day and night is possible because of sun only. So if we want to see the sun, we should move toward the day and avoid night. At night we can't see the sun. So positive values are like day and negative values are like night. Violence, lie, deceit, all these are like night, are like darkness. The more and more darkness we have in our life, the less and less we will be able to experience Brahma. Less and less we will be able to experience the joy. So one who doesn't accept the existence of that Brahma who is Sarvatnya, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvantaryami, Karuna Sagar, who is the very ocean of compassion, one who doesn't accept such a Brahma, such person's values will not be really positive. There will be selfishness, there will be violence, there will be arrogance, there will be confusion, delusion, chaos, suffering in this person's life. Therefore, here, in a very beautiful way, the Shastra it says, ki asanneva sa bhavati, asat brahmeti vedache. One who considers Brahma as asat, there is no such thing called Brahma. One who doesn't accept the existence of Brahma becomes unfit for following any Purushartha, for really walking this path of spirituality, of dharma. Therefore, that person himself becomes as though asat. Those who don't have faith in Brahma, they themselves become like asat only. They become non-existent, becomes valueless, becomes useless. Asad, asad brahmeti chet veda asanneva sa bhavati. On the other hand, asti brahmeti chet veda, one who accepts the existence of Brahma on faith. See, since the Vedas are the only Praman to finally experience Brahma, we have to accept the Vedas on faith. Just like if you want to see something, I want to see this flower, I want to see the color and the form of this flower, then the eyes are the only Praman. I cannot see the color and form of this flower with my ears or with my nose. Can be seen only through eyes. So eyes are the Praman to see the form and the color. But we should have faith in our eyes. If we don't have faith in our eyes, then we will not have that knowledge of that color and form. Sometimes we can't see things properly. Our eyes become weak. So we take support of another person. We ask that person, oh, what do you see there? I can't see it properly. So we have faith in that person's eyes. So eyes are praman to see the forms and shape. Similarly, Vedas are the praman to know Brahma. So one should have faith in the Vedas, faith in that such a Brahma is there, who is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, and the very cause of this world. So one who believes, have faith, Asti Brahmeti Ched Veda. If one knows that Brahma exists, then what happens? Santamenam tato viduriti. Then that person is also considered as existing, as santam, as good, as fit to know Brahma. The other wise people, knowledgeable people, they consider such a person as good and capable of attaining Brahma. Now the question is, Shankaracharya raises this question, Why should there be a doubt whether the Brahma exists or doesn't exist? Why such a doubt is there? Kutaha punaha ashanka tan nastitve, whether the Brahma exists or doesn't exist, why this doubt is there? And he replies, he says, Vyavharati tattvam brahmanaha iti brumaha. Because that Brahma is beyond Vyavhar. We know the existence of anything in this world because they are within Vyavhar, transaction. See, even in the field of science, we know matter because we can do Vyavhar with those matter. Any object is there, we can interact, we can see, hear, taste, touch, we can do experiment with that matter. But in science, there is some problem is there. They see certain effect of matter on these galaxies. Galaxies are bound together. See, space is there, which is so vast. But within all this space, there are many galaxies are there. So these galaxies are made up of many billions of stars which are held together, like our Milky Way galaxy. All the stars are held together. So to hold them, all the stars together, there must be enough material to have that gravitational pull to hold them together. But science, when they calculate material which are there in these galaxies, they find it is much less to explain how all these stars are held together. But they don't see any extra material anywhere. But they know that there must be some matter which is not seen, which one cannot interact with, but they know that it must be there. So that matter, they call it dark matter, because it cannot be seen, cannot be understood. But they know it must be there. So it's called dark matter. So similarly here also, that Brahma is something which cannot be, one cannot interact. There is no vyavhar. So possibility is there that one may think it is not there. So vyavharati tattvam brahmana iti brumaha. व्यवहार विषये ही वाचारंभण मात्रे अस्तित्व भाविता बुद्धि ही तद विपरीते व्यवहारातीते नास्तित्वम अपि प्रतिपद्यते. See, all those things which are within vyavhar, we say it is. Like a pot is there, we can do vyavhar, we can hold it, we can put some water in it, we can put a tea in it. So one can have a transaction with it. Suppose one says that, oh, there is something, but you cannot transact, it cannot be held, you cannot put anything, you cannot see it, you cannot taste it, you cannot touch it. Then such a thing we say it doesn't exist. Because in order for something to exist, it should be within the purview of vyavhar, transaction. So if it is not at all within the purview of transaction, then it is non-existent. Like they give example of the horns of a rabbit. Now rabbits, they don't have horns. But when you talk of horns of a rabbit and all, then it is a non-existent thing. Because you can't touch that horn, you can't see that horn, you don't see any effect of that horn. So horns are not there on a rabbit. Similarly, Brahma also one cannot interact with it. You cannot see, hear, taste, touch. You cannot feel it. It doesn't have any length, breadth, height. It cannot be grasped. It cannot be thought of. So there is a possibility that one can mistake, one can say that it doesn't exist. So even the samanyadi यथा घटादि व्यवहार विषय तयोपपन्नः सन् तद् विपरीते विपरीतो सन् इति प्रसिद्धम् एवं तत् सामान्याद् इह अपि स्यात् ब्रह्मणो नास्तित्व प्रत्याशंका. So just as things which are beyond the purview of interaction, we say that it doesn't exist. Similarly, one may say that Brahma also doesn't exist. So there is possibility of saying or thinking that Brahma doesn't exist. Tasmat uchyate asti brahmeti ched veda. Therefore, here the teacher begins with this thing that those who think that Brahma doesn't exist, they also become asat. But those who think Brahma exists, they are sat and ultimately they will attain Brahma. So this Anandamay Kosh is the Tassesha Eva Sharira Atma Yapurvasya. So this Anandamay Kosh is the Atma of the previous Kosh, Vijnanamay Kosh. So all these koshas are described, and the inner kosh is indicated as the Atma of the outer kosh. So Anandamay kosh is the Atma of the Vijnanamay kosh. So thus these five koshas are described. The teacher described these five koshas and also says that that pratishtha, the support of this Anandamay kosh is Brahma. So one who believes that yes, such a Brahma is existing, then there is a possibility of recognizing and realizing Brahma. But one who doesn't have faith in the existence of Brahma, such a person also becomes asat, becomes incapable of perceiving the Purushartha. So after concluding this, the teacher's speech on this five koshas, the student who were listening to this teacher, they had some questions. They came up with some questions. So these questions are called anuprashna. Anuprashna. So athato nuprashnaha. Anuprashna means when we listen to our teacher, there are certain things which he says which creates some doubts in our mind. It doesn't match with whatever we had heard before, or it just creates some questions and we ask. So similarly, the student who were listening to the teacher, they came up with some questions. So they are called anuprashna. Anu means afterwards. Afterwards means after listening to the teacher, the doubt comes. This you said, but I have some question about it. So what are the doubts? So uta vidvan amam lokam pritya kaschana gacchati. Aho vidvan amam lokam pretya kaschit samasnuta. One doubt is, more detail we will see in our next class, but just briefly, that Brahma is same for everyone. Brahma is same in all beings. Brahma is same in Vidwan as well as Avidwan. Means a wise person, in a wise person also Brahma is there, and a foolish person, ignorant person also Brahma is there. So the question is, if Brahma is same everywhere, then when a ignorant person dies, does he become one with that Brahma or doesn't become one with that Brahma? Because it is said that a wise person merges with that Brahma, Brahma with Brahmeva Bhavati. But if wise person merges with Brahma, then the non-wise person also should merge in Brahma, because Brahma is same everywhere. Like a pot is there, if a pot breaks and all, it just becomes clay only. It merges into clay. So whether the pot is wise or not wise, it will turn into clay only. Similarly, whether a person is Vidwan or Avidwan, both should attain Brahma. So is it that the Avidwan also attains Brahma or doesn't attain Brahma? And another question is, wise person, does he attain Brahma or he also doesn't attain Brahma? Because whether a person is wise or not wise, Brahma is same. And also one question is that since there is this doubt whether Brahma exists or doesn't exist, the possibility of such a doubt is there. So what is how to understand, how to know that Brahma really exists? So how to know Brahma really exists? Whether unwise person, ignorant person, after he drops his body, attains Brahma or doesn't attain Brahma. Whether wise person, after he drops his body, attains Brahma or doesn't attain Brahma. So these questions are raised by the students, and then the teacher replies. So that we will see in our class on Wednesday. So till then, you take care. Be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to the pravachan again. You might have missed something, so when you listen to it again, it becomes more clear. And we shall meet again soon. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Bole Siya Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।